Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have some new products to share with you guys, and these are from MAC's bronzing collection. So this year they came out with quite a few things that I thought were very interesting. Now I of course didn't pick up everything, although I was tempted. I'm not gonna lie, I was very tempted too, but I did pick out several pieces that I was really interested in. I am currently wearing them right now, and I feel like I kind of did justice to the name of the collection. I wanted to make sure my look today was nice and bronzy. I looked very nice and tan, and I feel like I achieved that. I don't know, what do you guys think? Alright, so before we continue with today's video, I do want to ask, if you are new to my channel, hello, I am Suzana and I love talking about makeup, anything related to it. I am your gal. So if you're as obsessed as I am, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's just go on with this video. Alright, so MAC released a bunch of stuff in this collection. From I've heard, I think everything in this line is pretty new except for the eyeshadows. Those were released at some point in the past with another collection. Those were limited edition. I guess they brought those back out for the bronzing collection. And since I didn't own any of them, I decided to pick up a few. So real quickly, I will post a picture of all the products that were released in this collection. Like I said, I just picked up the products that were more interesting to me. Now, I did not pick up the bronzing powder. That was a struggle to not get. I am super into bronzers right now. It is that time of year where all these brands are releasing bronzers, but to tell you guys the truth, it's not that I didn't want it. It's just the fact that for some reason, I don't pull out my MAC bronzers. I can't tell you why, because I really love them, but I don't. So I decided to skip the bronzer this time, and now they're sold out, so I kind of, you know, regretting not picking it up, but it's okay, I don't need it. So instead, I did pull out some products from last year. I think this is called the Wanderlust collection. So I pulled these out because I needed a little something else for today's look. And so I pulled out the bronzer as well, which is called Canyon Dreaming Next to Nothing Bronzing Powder. It's what it says back there. So this is the color here. I really like this. Today that I put it on, I feel like I'm going to be using it a lot now because this is such a great bronzer. Another reason why I'm kind of regretting not getting the bronzer for this collection. But again, I don't need it. I don't need it. I might get it at some point. Alright, so since I skipped out on the powder bronzer, I decided to pick up the darkest shade of their Stöbe Face Glaze Illuminator. So I picked up the shade Bronzejour, which is a deep bronze. So I wanted this because I wanted something that would give that luminosity, but at the same time bronze my face. And I felt like this actually did a pretty good job at doing that. I'm going to go ahead and insert some swatches here. The MAC Bronzejour Stöbe Face Glaze is an iridescent glossy face highlighter that delivers the dewiest glow. This smooth glossy balm with glowing pearlescent particles creates the ultimate dimensional highlighting effect on skin that beams luminosity. Then I did pick up 2 of the 5 single eyeshadows they released. The first one is Manaco-Co, and this one's described as a bronze with gold pearl. And I also picked up Tide and Seek. This is a red with blue and silver pearl. Then I also picked up 2 lip products. So the first one is this lipstick. This one's called A la Plage, and it is the Lustre lipstick formula. The shade is described as a light nude with slight gold pearl. They had released 5 shades of the lipsticks. They all looked really pretty, especially the bright ones, but I knew I wouldn't wear those all that often, so I opted for one that I thought I would wear a little bit more often. And lastly, I picked up a lip gloss. The shade I have is Would You Rather Lounge, and it is a warm brownish red with slight red and gold pearl. Alright guys, so let's just go ahead and get into the demo so you can see how I applied these products. So like I mentioned, I didn't buy any of the bronzing powders, so instead I'm using the Canyon Dreaming Next to Nothing bronzing powder. This is from last year's release, and I'm using my MAC 140S brush for this. Since they didn't release any new blushes in this collection, I went ahead and pulled out my Mineralize blush in the shade Lovejoy. And to apply this, I actually used a brush that came in last year's collection. This is the MAC J26SES brush. And I wanted something that was really fluffy because this is a pretty pigmented blush and it's a little bit dark for me, so I wanted to make sure I had control with how much I was applying. Alright, so on to the Strobe Face Glaze Illuminator. Again, I have the shade Bronzejour, and I started applying this with my fingers. So I went in with one finger where I picked up the product, and then I went in with another finger to start blending. And I felt like it did a pretty good job like that, but when I switched over to do my left side, I decided to work it in with a makeup sponge instead. And I feel like that worked a little bit better. I mean, just personal preference. So I went ahead and applied it all over where I would typically apply both a bronzer and a highlighter to just go ahead and brighten up the face, give me that bronzy, healthy looking glow that I was looking to achieve with this product, and I felt like it did a pretty good job. At first the shade was a little bit intimidating for me because it's pretty dark, which I know it was going to be, but once you work it in, you're able to sheer it out pretty well. And of course, if you want to build it up, you just add a little bit more if you want a little bit more of a bronzy look. But I feel like it actually did a really good job, and I applied that down the bridge of my nose as well, on my chin, just literally anywhere where the sun will naturally hit the face. So onto the eyes, I went ahead and picked up this 12 pan eyeshadow palette. It's the Natural Vice. Again, this one's also from last year's Wanderlust collection. I absolutely love this palette. I don't think I've ever talked about it on my channel. Once I picked this up and got it in, it was sold out everywhere, so I just never got a chance to talk about it. But this is actually a palette, and I'm sorry I'm even talking about it right now. I know it's not available, but this is a palette that is full of cool tone neutral shades, perfect for an everyday. This is the one I would use the most when getting ready for work. I absolutely love it. I mixed the shades Cork and Please to the Eye. And then I went ahead and added that into my crease and then blended that all the way through. Then I went in with the foiled shadows. Now this can be applied wet or dry. I do not like to wet my eyeshadows. I feel like it makes my eyelids look extra wrinkly, which I'm trying to avoid that. I know I'm already at that age where wrinkles are just, they're happening. It's happening to me. But I don't want to accentuate them. I don't want to create the illusion of any more. So I typically just use my eyeshadows dry. But this time I did both just to kind of show you guys how it'll look. So I picked up the shade Manaco-Co first. Using my MAC 238 brush, I went ahead and applied that all over my lid. Now this one has a really beautiful metallic finish to it, and it is described as a warm, rich brown, but I think the metallicness of it does not really allow a lot of that brown shade to pull through. To me, this looks more like a very light brown, but maybe that's just me. And for my right eye, I picked up my MAC 242 brush, picked up the same shade, but this time I wet it, again, because I wanted to show you guys how different it will look as opposed to applying it just dry. And here you can see the eyeshadow applied both ways. My left eye has it dry, my right eye has it wet. I noticed it a little bit more intense on the right side. It's not so much of a difference. To me, it's just not worth the wrinkles that I get on my eyes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and enjoy these dry. But I did go ahead and do the same thing with the other shade I have. So again, the other shade I have is Tight and Sink. And this is such a beautiful color. I went back with my 238 brush. I had cleaned off the previous shade and I applied this on the outer portion of my lid. I love how these two colors look together. I did build this up just a little bit, just to add a little bit more intensity, because when I applied it on the right side, I did the same thing as the previous shade. Picked up my MAC 242 brush and applied this eyeshadow wet, also on the outer portion of the lid. And this one did show up a little bit more bright, a little bit more metallic-y, so that's why I had to build up on the dry side a little bit more to kind of make it look a little bit more even. Then using a small smudger brush, I actually used my BK Beauty 204 brush. I picked up Tight and Sink, and I went ahead and applied it all over the bottom lash line. For the lip products, I wanted to show you guys how these looked alone. So first I went in and applied the lipstick. Again, I have the shade A La Plage. and I really like how this looked. I feel like it's a lot truer to the way that they described the shade once I applied it onto my lips, and I thought it looked great. It's a little bit frosty, but I really like it, and I love MAC's Lustre formula. So these are great, they're very comfortable, and I really did enjoy the shade. As far as the lip gloss, oh my gosh, I love this lip gloss. I don't know what kind of person I've turned into. Well, I guess I've turned into a person that likes lip gloss, because I used to be so against lip glosses. I would never ever wear them. But I am obsessed with this one, and the shade of this one is absolutely beautiful. It is a shade Woody Rather Lounge, and these are so comfortable. They're nicely pigmented. The little sparkles it has just makes your lips look extra luscious and just so beautiful. So I absolutely think both of these lip products look great. So I ended up deciding to just go ahead and apply both of them, but I first did apply some lip liner. So I went ahead and lined my lips with my MAC lip liner in the shade Cork. Then I went in with the Lustre lipstick, and then with my finger I applied the gloss over, and this is the final look. So I am very happy with this look. Like I mentioned earlier, I think my face looks really nice and bronzy and perfect for the summertime. The sun is out. I need to go out and just like show off my makeup to my backyard. Hopefully my neighbors look out and admire this beauty of a bronzy look that I have going on, because I am just very happy with it. I'm actually thinking about doing a video where I go like over the top and like really do an intense bronze look, like intense like but wearable, not intense ridiculous. So hopefully in the near future, I want to kind of like play with some things, but I'm sure I'm going to be using some products from this collection because I think everything is amazing. I guess if I can only pick one product from here, I would probably pick this Strobe Face Glaze. This really surprised me. So after I purchased this, I was kind of regretting my purchase a little bit. I had convinced myself that maybe I should have left this behind and I should have just picked up the bronzing powder. So I'm telling you guys, I was going so much back and forth. And the reason being is that, you know, you read this and you see face glaze, so you just think it's going to be something very thick and gooey, which it is up until you apply it. Once you apply it, it actually sets really nicely on the face. And I don't have a highlighter on, and I've got this really nice like natural glow on my skin that I think just looks so beautiful. It's a complete opposite of what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was just going to remain tacky the whole time. It was going to be one of those products that's more kind of like a gloss where your hair ends up getting stuck all over your face because it doesn't set. I thought it wasn't going to dry down, but it does dry down, but it still looks really nice and luminous. It's just so weird and so unexpected, but I so much love it. So I guess because of that, because this is, I mean, it surprised me, and it surprised me in such a good way. This is for sure the standout product for me, but I honestly really liked everything. The eyeshadows are so pretty. I love the lipsticks. I love the lip gloss. Honestly, guys, this was a huge win. I might actually end up picking up another shade in this, something that's lighter that I can use as an actual highlighter. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Alright guys, that's it as far as today's video. If you enjoyed this, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. It really does help me out a lot. And if you have not yet subscribed, do not forget to subscribe so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me today. Until next time.